My name is James Williams Jr. This is part 3 about school bullying and my final part of this video. I won't make any more videos till after I get home from work tonight. So, I was talking about Kung Fu, and I was talking about learning it, and I was quoting Bruce Lee and all kinds of other stuff. I wanted to make movies to teach Kung Fu for free, mostly for underprivileged youth, like how it was for me when I first learned martial arts from when I was 7 to 10. The guy was teaching me for free. Now, for some odd reason, maybe it was concussions, or maybe it was me from the future that came back through time and taught myself, but I don't remember what my first sensei looked like. I know he was of color. That much I know. I know he taught me how to punch and kick and never taught me direction. I learned direction in Taekwondo school. I learned martial arts from a Kempo master who used to date one of my bros' mother-in-laws. So, and I took up Kempo like a fish out of water. Whenever he taught me stuff, I remember he taught me like for like a day or two. I haven't forgotten any lesson that he taught me. And I think his school was somewhere like Greene County or something. I don't know, but I never went to his school. But while he was dating my boy wife's mother, he taught me some shit when they lived on King Street in a White House. It was fenced in. He was a cool motherfucker. So, taught me some shit about pressure points. So I utilized it. But before that, I had knew about pressure points. I just didn't know what they were for, other than to manipulate and control pain. So I taught myself the iron body technique by finding pressure points and tender spots on my body to make tough. So that if I ever got hit in school by anybody, I'd be able to get right back up. And I've been street fighting for so long that if I ever got hit by somebody, I was either too dumb to stay down or I just had too much fire just to stay down. But anyway, school bullying, it must come to an end for the simple fact that they have no place in school. Simple as that. Bullies don't need to be in school. Bullies need to be behind bars. They need to be at these military camps to bring the bully out of them. They need to be in these schools, way back in the 90s when you were in trouble. Instead of going to juvie, they sent you to boot camp, or they sent you somewhere to reform you if they could reform you. And that's where bullies need to be. Even if the bully hasn't done anything like physically harm someone, but they're just always in some kid's face, always fussing at them, always yelling at them, always threatening their lives. You know, those are some shit you should probably take serious. Because usually if somebody tells you they're going to kill you, they meant it on some level or another. They may not have meant it directly right then and there, but on some level in the back of their teeny pea brain, they meant that shit. And it's something that teachers in them hear every day, and they laugh that shit off. That's the same bullshit that happened with Columbine. They laughed that shit off until those kids broke down and bought some goddamn guns to school and just started killing everybody. Now, I'm not supporting Columbine, and I'm not even happy that I had to bring that up. But while I'm on that subject, I was bullied in college by a teacher. Her name was Miss Deal. I forgive you, Miss Deal. I don't know if you're still alive, and I don't give a damn. But I will say this. To do what you did to me, because I lost 3 friends in 2 months' time, and for her to say that um, people of color don't die like that. Well, I hate to tell her, and I told her the same thing I'm going to tell you. 5 black people die every day. Just because you don't hear about it doesn't make it any less true. When you have to go home to your white picket fences, and you live in a great neighborhood where you don't have to drive like this, or you don't have to walk like this, worrying about who's going to come behind you and stab you in the back, then of course you don't know that 5 black people die a day. Maybe their bodies just haven't been found yet. So I've been bullied in college, by a teacher. I think that if you're going to be a bully, that you should not have a position in a school like a teacher. And I think that if you are a bully in school and you're a student, then you should not be allowed to attend school. You should be placed in a school for people like you, with people like you. Now, this is where shit get complicated because I like Japanese movies. Honestly, I would have a school with bullies in it, and they'd be in there for like 15 days. They'd have food, they'd have water, they'd have bathroom privileges. There would be no teachers, and there would be no way out except for to reform yourself. And we would have cameras, and I would say, well, I didn't send you here for everyone to get murdered, but I'm putting you guys in here. You have 15 days to get your shit straight. Of course, in all the Japanese movies where they had schools like this, they wind up being like fights to the finish and all that other stuff. And I'm down with that because, if you're such a badass and I put you in a room full of badasses, lots of people are going to get hurt. They're going to have a lot of raw hairs up their ass. Now I would separate the men from the women so that there wouldn't be any rapes or any of that shit, but I put them in there. I was like, y'all have at it. Only the survivors can come out. And if it was legal, you know, that's what I do. I was like, well, all of y'all are going to be in here, and you're not getting out. And if anybody kills anyone in there, well, when you do get out, you're going slam to jail. Unless it's like this person tried to kill you, you were unarmed, you disarmed them by putting their own knife to their throat. That's a whole different thing, which is why there would be cameras in every room, including the bathrooms. So, you know, not over the stalls, gonna respect their privacy, but want to separate the men from the girls. That way, there are bars that they can't get through, so neither side can interact with each other. That way, I'm pretty sure girls don't rape girls. And I can't say the same thing for guys raping guys, but we want to make sure that none of that shit happens. That's why there's going to be cameras in every room, in the bedrooms, in the classrooms. And the teachers would be lowered in through cages, like bulletproof glass, and then the teachers would be able to teach them so that they can at least graduate, because they'd still be able to graduate. They'd just be graduating from an alternative school of safety parameters. It's like, well, the teachers would not have the authority, because they don't have the authority in regular school to stop them from fucking each other up. Now, why did I say that? Because if you're not going to do anything in a regular school, then why would you want to step up in a school when it's only bullies in there? Put your little ass in a glass booth, you come in through the roof, you teach for your 7 hours of class, we lift your ass back up, and let them have at it. Only the strong survive. Now, I know you guys are thinking, well, damn, James, that's just harsh and horrible. And if you're thinking that that's just harsh and horrible, try walking one day in the shoes of a kid that's being bullied every fucking day. And the teachers, they turn to the teachers, they call to the teachers, they cry to the teachers, they go to the teachers with tears in their eyes and tell them, please make these assholes stop. Miss Jones, I'm sure you don't remember that, but I know I asked you to make them stop. And you never did. And it continued until I had to bring nunchucks to school, until I had to threaten the lives of people because I got tired of having my life threatened every fucking day. Now, why would you stop this school from letting them kill each other, but you would not stop them while they're in a normal school picking on people like me? Well, like that young girl that I showed you in the first damn video. So why not? Oh, I know, because the law has sanctions, but the school apparently doesn't. So they claim that schools in the world take precedence over bullies. Biggest lie ever told. Biggest lie ever told. Because if that was the case, Columbine would not have happened. The shit at my school when I was in college with the teacher picking on me would not have happened. And a mandate for schools all over the world would have been in place so that that young lady would not have been choked out. Why was that pile of kids there? Why didn't all of them get suspended just watching the fray? Because, I mean, I know it's not a crime if you haven't done anything, but to sit there and let this girl get choked out by two people, it's kind of fucked up. And this coming from a guy who watches girl fights all the time. But I'm an honest man. I do watch girl fights. I get my jollies off of girl fights. But I would never sit here and record the shit in real life without trying to at least stop it. Where I live, that shit doesn't really happen. I don't walk down the street and see girls fighting over dumb shit like boys and who sucked their man's dick and all that other stuff. I don't see any of that in real life. Because most of the time, I'm too busy trying to get my ass to work or trying to find a job in which I can support myself. Kids do dumb shit. But they only do dumb shit because we raised them to do dumb shit. Because it's too much like right to do the right damn thing. So, again, with the school for the bullies and hard knocks, in the middle of the fucking universe, which would be right smack dead in the center of the United States, every bully from every school in every fucking land in every 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii, slap them dead in the middle of the state, in a place where there's not a high rate of forest fires, not a high rate of floods, where they can go to school there, and they can live there. and they can survive there for 4 years, from the ninth grade to the 12th grade, and if they can graduate without bullying people or beating people to death, why can't that exist? Because you don't have enough sanctions in school. You don't have enough manpower to put a security officer and have them have the authority to arrest a kid, no matter how small the bullying is. We don't have that. But think about if we did. This young lady wouldn't have got choked out. You know, because some people just bully people just because they have nothing better to fucking do. It's the truth. People bully me because I'm mixed. People bully me because I acknowledge the fact that I'm mixed. People bully me because my skin's lighter. I have curly hair. People bully me because no one did a goddamn thing to stop it. And on the day that I finally had enough and decided I'm going to do something to stop it, I get a referral. How the fuck does that happen? How do you referral the victim, but not the bulliers? Welcome to the life of James Williams Jr. because it's exactly what the fuck happened. And as long as schools are not going to protect the innocent, it's going to continue to happen. As long as sanctions from the school board are not put in place, as long as the school doesn't want to hire security to make sure that this shit doesn't happen, if I have to escort a young lady into the girls' bathroom to make sure that she's safe from other girls, why not have a female do the same thing? Have a female guard follow them all the way around, station some at the bathroom, station some in the classrooms. It's not that damn difficult. It's really not. But no one wants to do that because no one wants to spend that fucking money. But school needs new football equipment. We'll get that. School needs new weights for the gym. We'll get that. School needs new basketballs. We'll get that. Something not catching with you guys yet? School needs new basketball rims, new basketball hoops, new basketball backboards. We'll get that. And we'll get the best quality of high-level triple-layered plastic so that the next kid that goes up and decides he wants to be Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson or Julius Erving or Larry Bird and smashes the damn thing, we'll get that. But we won't put in sanctions to protect kids that are being bullied. But we'll do everything else for school academics except for protect the students. See, if you don't have any students, you don't have any academics. It's the same thing I keep saying when I talk about Donald Trump when he's taking transgender people out of the military. If you don't have enough soldiers to defend the country, you open the doors for the country to be destroyed. Sure, you guys probably don't know that because you're not in the military and you have no idea what the fuck to do. When the soldiers are all dead, we're all dead. You need to understand that. Same thing with bullies. As long as the bullies can thrive and do what they want and not have any consequences and come to school and do whatever the hell they want to whoever they want, whenever they want, that's why they do it. Because there's no consequences. And if the parents don't know that they're being raising bullies, sometimes it's not the parents' fault. Sometimes parents don't wake up and say, I'm going to raise my child to be a bully or a badass. Sometimes parents just want their kids to go to school and be happy, free, and safe. Too much to ask for, right? So why is it too much to ask for when you can raise money to get new basketball equipment, new football equipment, new baseball equipment, new wrestling equipment, new hockey equipment, whatever the hell your collegiate school has as a sporting event? But the trap kids have to pay for their own shorts. Maybe they got to pay for their uniforms. And they definitely have to buy their own shoes because the school doesn't provide any of that shit. The kids that have javelins, they have to get new javelins, but they put up bake sales and shit like that. But you can't sanction bullies from coming into your school. You can't run a background check on a bully to make sure that they're not allowed in your school. Sure you can. You just choose not to. Because doing the right thing is too easy. Doing the right thing when it's the right thing to do is what most people do. I try to do the right thing all the time, especially when it's not the easiest thing to do. Because you know why? Because there's not enough people out here that's willing to take that initiative and do the right thing at the right time because it's the right time to do it. They much rather just do what the fuck they want or do what they feel is right now. Life doesn't work that way. And you should be ashamed of yourselves. I'm James Williams Jr. Just come for having number 2. I would love to keep going, but this is the third video that has reached the 15-minute mark. And I'm going to make another one, unfortunately, so that'll be the final one, because it's a lot of things And I'm gonna try my best to not cuss, but I'm so emotional about it because I've been that victim. In fact, I'm not gonna do another one. I'm gonna keep my word. I'm just gonna keep going. Now that I'm past the 15 mark by 3 minutes, you know, the thing with all of this is that you know you can't always blame the parents. My mom didn't teach me to be a bully. My mom didn't teach me to be a badass. My uncles taught me how to fight. My mom told me I can't. Could children do what their parents tell them to do, as long as it's morally right? Now, why can't schools take that same initiative? Why can't schools have some kind of initiative to take all the bullies out of school and move them over here? Why can't they put the good kids over here and keep them separated so that no one will have this issue? I know that there's a right thing and a wrong thing in life, and everyone else should know it too. I gotta pause this game because I haven't done anything in it. I think I can save it. Yes, I can. But anyway, you have options, you have sanctions, you have things that you can do, you have ways, you have extracurricular activities. You can teach students to not be bullies. You can teach some of the bigger guys to stand up for the little guys. But we choose not to do it because no one wants to make their kid a hero. No one wants to teach their kids how to do the right thing. No one wants to do any of that. Why? Because it's too much like the right damn thing to do. Why should you do the right thing? Why should no one else stand up and do what's right for the people who can't defend themselves? Oh, I know why. Because we're raising a bunch of cowards and bullies who don't know right from wrong. And why do they not know right from wrong? It's because they watch too much TV. Or maybe they're into this texting and stuff and just refuse to know what's wrong. And let me put it in a simpler term: lack of empathy. You don't have empathy. You don't have sympathy or empathy. You just living in your right red world, and you just think of yourself, and you see a bully bullying someone, and you do nothing. And that's most kids today. That's most kids back in the 90s when I was in school, and still to this day, nothing has changed. High school bullying have no accommodations to stop it. High school bullying have no means of doing what they need to do. And the schools and the curriculums and the school boards, they don't put up enough fights to keep these kids out of their schools. They don't do what they need to do. They don't do the right thing. They just do what they want. What does it take? Will it take another Columbine? Will it take another 5-year-old getting a hold of a gun and accidentally shooting someone? School bullying has changed on an exponential level. When I read about the kid that shot the little girl, the little black kid that shot the little white girl, and how the hell did he even get a hold of a gun at 5 years old? He had no business having a gun. No business. If you're going to have guns in your house, you need to at least follow the gun safety rules. You have to have some parameters in your life where your right and wrong moral compass has to kick in. School bullying? No, come on, school boards. Y'all can all collectively get together in all the 50 states and talk about how we can change this shit. Y'all just choose not to because it's too much like the right thing to do. Every school in every state and every district has a different rule or a different law about school bullying. And none of you enforce it. None of you. Lots of schools have police officers in school, like in New York and Brooklyn and Bronx and stuff like that. And in lower places where, like Chicago, where gun violence in schools has never really diminished. It's just not been on radar for a while, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. And just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. It just means that somehow or another someone swept it under the rug there, and we just let this shit continue. Why? Do we all not have enough balls to do what's right? Is that what we come down to when it comes to school bullying, when it comes to schools in general? Is that what it is? You guys think that shit through. I'm getting off now because I've reached the 20-minute mark, which is 5 minutes more than I wanted to go on. But before I do, I want you guys to understand one thing. A bully is still a human. And humans can be guided down the right path or the wrong path. If we continue to let bullies do what they want, we're pushing them down the wrong path, which probably suits some of you just fine. I don't have children. I long for the day that when I do, and that my child comes home crying, or worse, my child comes home and decides that he or she's going to go into their room because they can't take any more, and they're too ashamed to talk to me about what the fuck's going on in their life. And they go in their room, and I'm not thinking about nothing. I go to take them dinner, and I find my child dead with a belt around their neck because they done hung themselves on the door because they couldn't take anymore, because they were too ashamed to talk to me, their father, a martial artist, because they're being bullied at school. I've read these things, man. I've read about the adopted Chinese girl who was getting picked on because she was like the only Asian kid in school, and everybody kept picking on her because she's the only Asian kid in school, and they picked on her day in and day out, day in and day out, and she went home one day and just ended it all. Then there's internet bullying. There's so many different bullying topics that I have to make another video, so I'll do that when I get home from work because I have to get ready to go to work right now. But before I do, why does these things happen? Why do these things happen? I'm going to tell you why these happen in the next video. I'm James Williams Jr. Come forever, number 2. Peace in you.